all hockey, all the time. You're watching the NHL Network.
They're lifting Vaughn up there on that stretcher. Hard to say which leg it is. Langlois shoots it off the boards. Bob Vaughn lets it drive. Goes score! Bob Vaughn! He gives it into Lemaire back to LaFoot. The Montreal Canadiens have won the Stanley Cup.
Coming in with Nystrom. Tonelli to Nystrom. He scores!
The Oilers have won the Stanley Cup.
Time once again to go back into the archives. Welcome to Vintage Games here on the NHL Network. I'm Dan Pollard. Today we look back to April 20th of 1981, the quarterfinal between the defending champion New York Islanders and the Edmonton Oilers. After being outscored 14-5 in the opening two games on Long Island, Edmonton had bounced back to win Game 3 5-2 on home ice. Armed with momentum and youthful exuberance, the Oilers tried to even the series in Game 4.
Well, once again, this is going to be a noisy, exuberant crowd here in the Northlands Coliseum, jammed to capacity for Game 4 of this series. The referee for this evening's game is Dave Newell, and the linesmen are Ryan Bozak and Leon Stickle. As we mentioned earlier, Andy Moog in goal for the Oilers. The Islanders have made a change. Roland Melanson is starting. He finished last night's game, replacing Billy Smith with over 9 minutes remaining in the third period.
Don, there was a real collision in the Islander net where several players piled on top of Smith. We wonder if perhaps he was injured in that pile-up, and that's the reason he isn't playing tonight.
Well, talking to him after the game, and again today, he didn't indicate there was any problem. Perhaps just a feeling by Al Arbor that he wants to make a change because Melanson played well in the 9 minutes he was in there. Offside call against the Islanders. I would think again, Gary, this evening, it's very important as far as the Oilers are concerned to score early, to force the Islanders to play their style of game rather than sit back and wait.
Well, as we look at Coach Al Arbor, the Islanders are a team of poise. They're very confident. They don't get flustered when a team scores first, but for the Oilers, a young, very spirited hockey club. The one goal, that first goal, would certainly ignite them.
Play at the Islander line. Stephen Persson over to the other side to Langevin. Langevin shoots it in. Going into the corner after it is Kevin Lowe. Up along the boards to Gary Younger. This line played extremely well last night for Edmonton in a checking role. Now Stephen Persson tried to move in from the point. He had it knocked away down to the New York blue line. Stephen Persson comes back for the Islanders. Right wing pass, Mike Bossy. The 68 goal man in across the line, trying to feed it to Bourne. Bourne cutting for the goal. Moog makes the save. Back to the line, Langevin to the other side to Persson. The Islanders applying some early pressure as Trottier in the corner loses it. Bossy picks it up. Vogelin slides to the corner. He's down. The puck loose behind the goal. Trottier is in there. Bossy is there, and it's finally dug out by Bossy. Back to Bourne. Back to the line now. Persson winding up. A deflection and a save by Andy Moog. Well, if the early moments are any indication, the Islanders are certainly playing a different style of game than they did last night.
Well, it's a good forecheck again on the very first opportunity. The Islanders were able to get in that zone because the Oilers gave them that blue line. You can't do that against Trottier's line.
Now in the center ice area, Mark Messier for the Edmonton Oilers. A shot goes wide of the goal. It ricochets off the boards all the way to center ice. Risto Siltanen is back there over to Hicks. Hicks gets it ahead to Messier. He shoots it in, but Lane, making his first playoff start, dumps it to center ice. Nystrom is forced back into his own zone. He gives it away to Hagman. Hagman, however, is taken off the puck by Lane. It's dumped out by the defenseman, and the Oilers take over in the center ice area. Now it's Messier losing it at the line. Nystrom had difficulty controlling it. He finally shot it in, but Merrick was trapped offside. We've played 2 minutes and 6 seconds of the first period, and Gary, so far, the Islanders have been forcing the play.
You just knew that the Islanders were going to bring up their level of play, and they showed it in the first couple of shifts.
Potvin in across the line, however, New York was offside.
Well, for the past couple of seasons, the heat has been on this man. he kept staying with those young kids. He said they will develop, mature, and they have. And a credit to Glenn Sather, because what you see out here is a fine Oiler hockey club.
We also saw assistant coach Billy Harris at the bench. We were with him after the game last night, and he said regardless of what happens tonight, Edmonton will win Game 5 on Wednesday night. In across the line, it's Anderson working to the corner, taken out of the play by Gillies. Anderson still managed to get the puck. There's going to be a penalty against New York. Back to the line. Here's a blast. The shot right on, and the save is going to bang it in, but the whistle had gone. Hagman knocked it in after Melanson had made the save on LaRiviere, but the whistle had gone. There's really no doubt. I heard the whistle clearly before it was banged in by Hagman.
As was the case last night, the key for the Oilers is to skate. Here at Clark Gillies takes down Anderson, and the first power play opportunity goes to the Oilers. So it's Gillies for holding at 2:29.
The first shift of the evening for Wayne Gretzky as he moves into the face-off circle against Trottier. Trottier got the draw back at the net to Potvin. Potvin had his stick lifted as he tried to slap it at the line by Jari Kurri. And Paul Coffey goes back of his own goal. Lead pass, center ice to Gretzky. Gretzky had a little trouble controlling it. He lost it. Here's a chance for Trottier. Trottier breaking in. And a good defensive move by Siltanen, who came back to take it away from him. Siltanen then slid into the net. He's okay. And now here's the shot. They score! Coffey!
First round draft pick Paul Coffey. What an individual effort, but again, he cuts to the inside, lets that shot go off the goalpost. Had Melanson going the wrong way, but it started right at the far end where the Oilers were able to recover from a Trottier breakaway by Risto Siltanen, and Paul Coffey grabs a hold of the puck, goes the length of the ice, and scores a power play goal. But again, he's given that blue line and lets the shot go. No screen on the play. It just had Melanson going the wrong way. And a low shot off the goalpost.
An unassisted tally by Coffey at 3:02. And the Oilers have a 1-0 lead. They trail in the series, of course, 2-1. They lost the first two on Long Island, 8-2 and 6-3. They were 5-2 winners last night. Callighen is knocked flying. The puck goes loose. And Stefan Persson brings it out for the Islanders to Trottier on the left wing. Bourne's shot. It slides to the goal mouth, and Moe steers it to the corner. Bossy let it go from a sharp angle. He missed the net, and it ricocheted off the boards all the way back into the New York zone.
Trottier's line has certainly picked up the tempo. They've been dangerous. Both shifts they've been out there.
On the left side, Butch Goring flipping it in. Goring now at center between Bossy and Clark Gillies. Along the boards, it's kick free. Bossy gets it in the corner. Gillies behind the net, up front. Goring couldn't get a shot away. Potvin back at the line, takes the shot. It's high and wide. Now in the corner, Bossy picks it up for the Islanders. Bossy has it knocked off his stick by Lowe. The puck still in the Edmonton zone, however, in front of the net. Bossy centered it. Gillies couldn't get a stick on it. There's the drive. Another shot by Butch Goring, and it goes up into the crowd out of play. Tremendous action around the Edmonton goal.
Well, we have some action elsewhere, not only here at Nassau Coliseum, or I mean, wrong place, here in Edmonton, but the Sabres 3-1 leaders over Minnesota. Remember, Buffalo has to win. Sauvé, Perreault, Hayworth, Cicerelli. What a surprise story he is for Minnesota. Rangers on a goal by Hedberg lead St. Louis 1-0 in the first. Nassau Coliseum.
Well, they'll be back there on Wednesday night, Gary. However, you'll be going to the Spectrum, won't you?
That's right.
Clark Gillies had a goal last night. He also made a fine play on a three-way passing combination with Trottier and Bossy. The big fella from Moose Jaw, a native of Moose Jaw, and he positions himself in front of that net. Is very difficult to move.
Yes, he is. There is a discussion right now with Potvin and Dave Newell. Possibly the holding in front of the net, Vogelin had a hold of Gillies, and he wasn't about to let go, but we saw an example of the tremendous pressure that the Islanders can put on you with their strong forechecking. And the guys that do that good forechecking, with the likes of Gillies, who is very strong in that department, you know, he has to do it. Nystrom. But Andy Moog, again, just taking off where he left off last night with those tremendous saves of his, and that really inspires the guys on the bench.
The face-off in the Edmonton zone. The puck loose in the corner. Coffey, who has scored the game's only goal, back of his own net, cutting out front now. He has good speed and a lot of poise for a 19-year-old. Play broken up in the center ice area by the Islanders. Coffey gets it again to Gretzky. The great one circling on the wing to Kurri, and Kurri was offside. I was talking with Al McNeil during the Calgary-Chicago series, and McNeil was referring to the work of Jamie Hislop and how it really seemed to improve his club when they acquired him from Quebec in the trade for Bouchard.
It was a good trade for both teams.
Now coming in across the line, Howlett has it knocked away. Anderson circles in the center ice area. He had difficulty controlling it. He's pinned against the boards by Potvin. The puck goes loose in the corner. Carroll tried to feed it ahead to Sutter, his first appearance of tonight's hockey game, and it was too far for him. Icing is called against New York. This is Hockey Night in Canada from the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton.
Well, Glenn Sather continues to try and get Dave Semenko, 27 of the Oilers, against Bob Nystrom. We know what kind of a job Nystrom does in the hitting department to inspire his hockey club, trying to nullify that by putting Semenko out there. And that has been a good matchup, where we saw some tremendous hits by both of those players.
Well, of course, last night, one thing they were trying to do with Semenko was to break the confidence of Billy Smith, and I think Semenko may have succeeded in doing that as he positioned himself in front of the goal. Gretzky in the corner, dodges a body check, he centered it, there was nobody there. Coffey at the line, shoots it back at the goal. This is where Gretzky is most dangerous. He has it knocked away from him, it comes to the line. Riviere keeps it in. Gretzky back at the goal. Gretzky right up front, a backhand shot, another shot, they score! On the rebound! But what a move by Gretzky to come right out in front of the net. And it's 2-0.
You notice when players tend to pull out of the zone, Gretzky does not move from behind the net, even though it may look like the Islanders gain control. Watch 27 Semenko. He does his job in front of the net. Lorimer has him pushing him right in against Melanson. He has got absolutely no chance against Kurri, who comes in against the rebound. What's the goaltender supposed to do? So let's give the marks to Dave Semenko on that play for doing his job.
Well, that's what you said in last night's telecast, Gary, that Semenko would be attempting to do that, and we saw the perfect example right there of how that big forward standing in front of the goaltender can create problems. Sticks get up, involving Bob Bourne and Dave Lumley in the New York zone. Edmonton was called on the offside.
See, the big thing, of course, is even if a defenseman is harassing you and pushing you, all you do is let the defenseman push you right into the goaltender. And that's a good play. There's no way the referee can call it as long as an Islander defenseman is there. We look at Mike Bossy. Dave Hunter, a tremendous job against Bossy thus far.
Well, those comments on Semenko's role from a man who was most proficient at that particular task with the Philadelphia Flyers. Stephen Pearson in his own zone. Lead pass to Trottier. He deflected it into the center ice area to Bob Bourne. In across the line. His quick shot. It's deflected by Moore. Off the glass. Lumley is bodied. He goes down. Trottier tried to center it. It's intercepted by Hunter. The puck loose in the center ice area. Bob Bourne dodges a body check. Then has it taken away by Lowe. On the wing to Hunter. His slap shot is wide. Trottier bodied by Gary Unger. Unger goes down. That Trottier, he's a stocky individual. He can take a lot of physical punishment. However, he is tripped up, and there's going to be a penalty to Edmonton. Melanson gets to the bench. The extra attacker, Goring, is out there. Goring with the puck. He dodges the check, having some difficulty now, but the Islanders still in possession. Over to Stephen Pearson. Back to Goring. Goring dumped it in. And as soon as it's touched by the Oilers, penalty will be coming up.
Just a few moments ago, Gary Unger tried to take out Trottier unsuccessfully. This time, Glenn Anderson tried to make contact, tried to use the stick, a tripping call, 6:26, the first opportunity for the Islanders on the power play.
Their power play has been devastating, although last night, a short-handed goal by Wayne Gretzky early in the game sort of took some of the sting out of that power play. Gretzky in the New York zone. He falls on top of the puck, and the face-off will take place outside the line.
Gretzky was going after, trying to forecheck Butch Goring. You know, Gillies made an interesting statement. He said, last night, that's the best game I've ever seen Gretzky play, not only offensively, but the little guy was actually coming back and doing some back-checking. He was really impressed. And when you're recognized by your opposition, you know you've done a job.
1:43, the time left in the penalty. Goring in across the line. He dumps it back of the goal. It's stopped there by Moog. Coffey up along the boards. However, Potvin keeps it in. Here's Potvin going for the goal. Potvin takes the shot. The save is made by Moog. Potvin never really got a good shot away. I don't think he expected to be allowed to walk in as he did.
Well, Potvin is a guy that the Oilers certainly have to be aware of him and not be attracted by the puck. They have to look around. Where's number 5, Dennis Potvin? Does get his own rebound there, but not much on the shot. If they can contain Potvin on that power play, you know, they have a good opportunity of killing it off, but he is the real key out there.
Potvin, of course, had those 3 power play goals in the 6-3 victory in game number 2.
Well, if that high wingman has his back to Potvin, he'll just move around him and get in the slot. You have to be facing him sideways so you can look at the puck there and Potvin.
Of course, you can't really concentrate on Potvin because there's a fellow wearing number 22 who can score a goal or two.
Yeah, that's another story.
Here he comes, Bossy out of his own zone, over to Bourne, in across the line. Bourne has it poked away by LaRiviere. Coming back to help out is Siltanen. However, Bossy takes it back to the line to Persson. Over to the other side to Potvin. The Islander captain returns it to Persson. Persson trying to center it. It's knocked down by Hunter. He gets it again over to Potvin, moving in a shot. And the puck goes wide. Bourne is in the goal. And we've got another penalty coming up, I believe, against the Edmonton Oilers. Hockey Night in Canada will continue in just a moment.
They're here! They're here!
Not a very favorable position for the Oilers. Paul Coffey on a cross-check against Bobby Bourne actually put him right in the net. 2 men short. I don't like the Oilers' chances.
45 seconds left in the penalty to Anderson. When Bourne was trapped in the net, Moog wasn't about to let him out either. Well, Unger in the face-off circle with Trottier. Trottier is being waved out. So is Unger. Risto Siltanen and Clark Gillies will go in. From the face-off, back to the line. Bourne over to Potvin. Into Gillies. Gillies tried to feed it in front to Trottier. Trottier couldn't control it. Back at the line, it's Bourne. Bourne at the side of the net to Bossy. Bossy out to Potvin, moving in. He scores! And they will still hold the man advantage because only 29 seconds remained in the penalty to Anderson.
Well, one thing about the Islanders, you know, with their power play, I mean, this is excellence at its best, finding that open man. They had the Oilers running around. They couldn't really establish a good triangle, and Potvin has a tremendous wrist shot and just overpowered Andy Moog on that power play. Here you get a look at it at the high angle. You notice white jerseys just running around all over the place, and when you don't get that set position, try to keep the opposition to the outside, you don't have much of a chance.
Bossy lost it at the line. The Oilers still a man short with Coffey in the penalty box. And apparently the Islanders are being called on the offside. Bossy put himself offside at the line when he lost control of the puck.
You'll see Clark Gillies positioning himself in front of that net. The Islanders really depend on him to do the heavy work, the corner work, the work in front of the net. And he just said, you know, it just seemed like we were a step and a half behind last night, but I'll guarantee you something. We'll be a different hockey club tonight. They showed signs early, but then all of a sudden the Oilers, they took off.
minute 30 left in the penalty to Paul Coffey. Puck in the center ice area. Gretzky gets it at the line. He plays it back, intercepted by Bossy. Bossy drops it to Gillies. Gillies to the line. Potvin shot, save. Loose puck to Gillies, trying to move in, and it's knocked down by Kevin Rowe, and he fires it the length of the ice. Potvin goes back for it. 2-1 is the score in favor of the Edmonton Oilers, and at the line, the offside call against Edmonton.
Another youngster that has just blossomed to be a very offensive defenseman, can handle the puck so well, and that's been the success of the Oilers, first against Montreal and also against the Islanders, the ability to have one guy that can really handle the puck, make the plays, paired with a defensive defenseman like a Lee Fogelin. And that combination has worked out very well.
Goring is out there with Sutter and Tonelli. Pearson and Potvin back in the blue line on this power play. Tonelli in across the line, feeding it to the goal mouth. Picked up by Sutter. He tried to send it out front. It was knocked away by Edmonton along the boards. It's picked up by Anderson, and he shoots at the length of the ice. 45 seconds left in the penalty. Messier knocks Potvin down. Pearson managed to pick up the puck and flip it out to the center ice area. It's loose and then fired back in by Doug Hicks.
Again, the Oilers are very aggressive in their penalty killing. When you have the speed of an Anderson and Messier, you can take that chance because you can always get back into play and help out your defense.
22 seconds left in the penalty to Coffey. Dennis Potvin shoots it in. Sutter goes to the corner. He's knocked off the puck by Siltanen. He's unable to get it out. Here's a shot by Potvin. Tonelli moving in. Saved by Moog as Tonelli had Moog at his mercy, and Moog managed to get a piece of it. Now it's Pearson back in his own zone as the penalty to Coffey has expired. Along the boards to Sutter. Ahead to Goring, too far for him, and Anderson picks it up for Edmonton to Gretzky. Gretzky rink wide to Callighen, intercepted by Bob Nystrom, and Nystrom shoots it into the Edmonton zone. 10 minutes remaining in the first period. 2-1. Edmonton leading the Islanders. Here comes Gretzky. Gretzky fakes a shot. Turning inside the New York zone, feeding it back to the line, and Fogelin could not keep it in. Fogelin fired it back in, and two Oilers were trapped offside.
The Minnesota North Stars continue to peck away at that Buffalo lead. Kristoff has just scored. That's now 3-2 in that second period. The Rangers on goals by Hedberg and Duguay. Sutton, the lone scorer for St. Louis.
And of course, as we saw earlier in the Calgary-Philadelphia game, Jamie Hislop in the first period giving Calgary a 1-0 lead over Philadelphia. Here it's 2-1 Edmonton. Coffey flipping it in. Melanson way out of his goal to play it along the boards to the line. It's kept in by the Oilers. Here's a chance for Gretzky. Gretzky trying to move in. What a move by Gretzky. They pin it against the boards for a face-off. This kid never ceases to amaze.
That has the fans buzzing in here. I'll tell you, how do you stop a kid like this? The stick work, it keeps that puck so close to him, in and out sideways. But you notice both of the Islanders fishing for the puck. They're trying to stick check a Wayne Gretzky. You don't do that. Ken Morrow, he tried, couldn't. And then Melanson was the only guy that was able to save that. Gordy Lane must be talking to himself. But don't feel bad. Gretzky has done that to a lot of people this year.
Face-off to the right of Melanson. The Oilers with Gary Unger at center against Trottier. Puck goes loose. Picked up along the boards by Bossy. Bossy flipping it on the right side to Trottier, working to the corner against Coffey. It goes loose back of the goal, and it's picked off by Lumley. Lumley, a lead pass to Gary Unger. He had his best game as an Oiler last night. Flipping it into the corner to Hunter. Back of the goal, he's tied up neatly by Bossy. The puck goes loose. Lumley is there. He falls on it, and there'll be a face-off.
What's that song? Me and My Shadow? You see, Dave Hunter, his job and his only job is to look after Mike Bossy. Keep him off the scoreboard while the teams are playing at full strength. Takes a lot of pride in that. I guess Guy Lafleur would remember Dave Hunter. That was his job against Montreal.
If I recall the statistics correctly, Gary, from last night, Bossy was limited to just 3 shots.
And remember, Bossy played the power play. So Dave Hunter has done an exceptional job against him. Everybody does the job that they have to do out there. That's what it's all about. That's what it's called teamwork.
Back to the line, Coffey into Hunter, to Lumley. Lumley lost it, and Bourne starts out. A little too far for Bossy on the wing, and it's broken up in the center ice area by Coffey. 8:35 is the time left in this first period. It's 2-1, Edmonton leading New York. Shot into the New York zone. The puck goes loose back to the goal. Landsman along the board, kept in by LaRiviere. Into the corner to Lumley. Lumley to the line to LaRiviere. A backhand shot. Melanson, who was screened on that shot, just got it at the last moment to kick it to the corner. Back at the line, Coffey knocks it down. His shot, a weak one, is blocked in front by Landsman. Now it's Bourne with a long drive, and Moog had that go off his glove, and I believe that hit the crossbar. Now Unger comes out for Edmonton to Messier. Slap shot, just wide. Clark Gillies, rink-wide pass, intercepted. Messier in across the line, trying to go around. No, it's not down. There'll be a penalty against New York. Live from the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton, the Stanley Cup playoffs.
You know, winger is very easy to cover if he just goes up and down his wing. Messier broke the middle, got the pass. Ken Morrow had to hold on to him. He got the penalty, so the Oilers will have that power play opportunity again.
They scored the last time they had the man advantage, a goal by Coffey. Now it's brought in by Messier. He tried to feed it into Anderson, broken up by Carroll. Carroll in the center ice area for New York, doing a nice job of ragging the puck. He plays it back to Lorimer, and Lorimer shoots at the length of the ice. Risto Siltanen back of his own goal to Hagman. The Oilers come out now. Hicks on the left side, too far for Anderson. It's knocked out to center ice. Goring one-on-one with Siltanen. Goring trying to go around him. He takes the shot, a glove save, and Andy Moog hangs on to it with Carroll cutting for the goal.
You know, that was an interesting play. Siltanen against Goring, one-on-one, but what we didn't see was that Hicks coming back with that trailer, watching him. The tendency is to always watch that puck. That slot man is in the clear, but Doug Hicks did a tremendous job in picking up the trailer. Another guy that has speed to burn, number 11, Mark Messier. What a second half season he had.
Yes, when that line of Messier, Anderson, and Hagman was united, they began to click almost immediately.
Now Messier ended up with as a third leading scorer for the Oilers, got over the 20-goal plateau for the first time.
Siltanen, pass up in the wing to Jari Kurri, to Coffey. Coffey lost it. Callighen gets it back. Callighen coming out of his own zone. He lost it. Good forechecking there by Trottier. Now over on the wing to Coffey. Coffey looking for Gretzky. He finds him. Drop pass to Callighen. He tried to center it. It was knocked down by Bourne, and Bourne starts out for the Islanders. Bob Bourne coming in on the left side against Siltanen. Siltanen takes it away. When you talk about improved players with the Oilers, the little Finn is definitely one of them. Siltanen in across the line. He's got a tremendous shot. He looks for Callighen. It's loose in front. Gretzky gets it back to the line to Coffey. Into the corner again to Gretzky. He tried to center it. It's broken up. Not out. Kept in by Coffey. Here's a shot. What a drive just wide. Now along the boards, Carroll clears it the length of the ice.
Islanders very fortunate there. Had good possession on 2 occasions. Couldn't get it past Paul Coffey. Couple of giveaways.
Here's a giveaway. Carroll has it. He tried to feed it to Goring. Goring at the side of the net. Taken out of the play by Coffey, and Moog holds the puck for a face-off with 12 seconds left in the penalty to Ken Morrow.
I think that before this guy's career is over, Siltanen, he will be a Norris winner. He has all the tools, the speed, the shot, the intelligence.
What do you think this fellow might win before it's all over?
I think they can just sign his name on the cup, the MVP for years to come.
The face-off to the right of Andy Moog. 2-1 the score, 5:52 left in the opening period. 12 seconds in the penalty to Ken Morrow of the Islanders. In the face-off circle, it's Goring against Gretzky. They'll do it again.
It was interesting, Dennis Potvin saying we may have taken it a little lightly. I don't think that's the case anymore. They know they're against a pretty good hockey club.
Gretzky starts out looking for Messier on the left side. Gretzky in across the line. However, coming up on the right wing was Anderson, and he went offside.
Carroll, a youngster that has come into this lineup due to injuries, and Coach Al Arbour said this kid here won't hurt you defensively. One of the better checkers in our hockey club. I use him at every opportunity to kill the penalty. Goes out there and does one heck of a job for us.
He was a third-round draft choice in 1979 from London of the OHA. And the penalty to Morrow expires as Morrow goes back into his own zone and plays it ahead to Hagman. Right wing pass for Anderson, deflected into the New York zone. Langevin back of his goal. Down towards the Pearson. Langevin was bodied by Anderson. Langevin gets the puck again. And under the pressure of Anderson, he fires it down the ice. We have an icing call coming up against New York with 5:18 left in this first period.
You think the Oilers would be tired for all the hits they gave out last night, but still taking that man, riding him against the boards. And as the game progresses, that certainly takes a lot out of you. You know, those shoulders become very weary out there. But there is no easy way to play winning hockey.
I thought you made a very good point earlier in your comments about the Edmonton dressing room. An air of quiet confidence, not the golly gee, look what we did that you would expect from a young team.
That amazed me too. I couldn't believe it. He came here to do a job.
Lane back of his own goal. He did not dress last night. As a matter of fact, this is his first playoff start. His pass hit a broken stick in the center ice area. Now it's fired in by the Islanders. Cleared out to the center ice area. Picked up there by Lane. Dumped back in again. However, Fogelin shoots it out. Now, Merrick tries to bring it in. Good checking by Lowe as he stood up at the blue line and knocked it back into the center ice area. The puck loose in the Edmonton zone. Picked up by Messier. Over to Anderson. He deflected it down into the Edmonton zone, and Lane is back there for the Islanders. Now a pass over on the left side to Tonelli. He's bodied. Good check there by Gary Lariviere. He's made a big difference to the Oilers since being acquired by Quebec and Vancouver in that late transaction. Now it's Tonelli in across the line. Feeding it into the corner to Nystrom. Nystrom back of the goal, trying to center it. It comes out at the side of the net, and it's picked up by Lariviere. Off the boards to Anderson. Anderson working his way down across the line. He falls. The puck goes loose. Gary Younger from a sharp angle took a shot. It hit Ken Morrow, and it's picked up by Merrick. Merrick ahead to Tonelli, looking for Nystrom. Nystrom breaking in. Shoot, scores!
Bob Nystrom always seems to get his act together come playoff time, but the Oilers had this played pretty good. Actually, Nystrom is heading for the net, picks up a loose puck that deflected off an Oilers stick, actually slowed down. It's coming up now, watch as the shot directed, hits the skate, and Nystrom just picks it up in a high wrist shot. Andy Moog actually got his glove on it, but went over the line. So Nystrom, who has thrown out some resounding checks, not only today, but throughout the series, grabs a goal and a tie game.
So the Islanders have fought back from a 2-goal deficit. A power play tally, and then this goal by Nystrom. And the Islanders fire it into the Edmonton zone as it's touched by Siltanen. Icing is called against New York. Nystrom on that one got a bit of a break with that puck deflecting off Coffey, but he certainly took advantage of the opportunity afforded him.
That's right, and you know, you always talk about that second man going at the net, you know, for the possible rebound. And Tonelli, I'm sure, was shooting it at the net and for just that reason. And that's when Nystrom was able to take advantage of a loose puck, and he made no mistake. But that line is used for checking, primarily for checking. Anytime they get a goal, that's a bonus for you.
The Gretzky, Kurri, Callighen line out there now for the Edmonton Oilers as they do some repair work to the ice surface in the New York zone. The linesman, Leon Stickle, working on the ice. Another patch job being performed by Ryan Bozak up near the blue line. Dave Newell, the referee for tonight's game. 3:33 the time left in the opening period. From the face-off, it slides to Melanson. He steered it back of the goal, and it's brought out by Bossy. He lost it to Siltanen. Siltanen having some difficulty with Bourne. Knocked down by Trottier now, in across the line, over to Bossy. Bossy, a backhand shot. He gets the rebound, another shot. It hit a skate in front, and it's picked up by Gretzky. Gretzky dodges a check from Bourne. A long lead pass to Kurri, trying to set up Callighen, and Callighen couldn't get a stick on it. The puck loose in the New York zone, brought out by Morrow. Morrow shoots it in. 2:56 left in this opening period. The score tied at 2. Edmonton held a 2-0 lead, but the Islanders have fought back. It's shot in now as Edmonton makes the change. Gretzky is knocked down, and there's a penalty coming up against scoring.
Well, the Islanders are really complaining. They felt Wayne Gretzky on a brush from Goring took a dive, but Dave Newell, who has the best position, called it on the interference at 17-16.
I think Gretzky might have got a 5-6 on that one.
I guess whatever you can get away with.
Back to the line to Kevin Lowe. Tried to keep it in. He does. Here's a shot. Anderson fanned on it. He had it poked away just at the last moment by Trottier. Back into the center ice area. Kevin Lowe is back there. To Hagman. Hagman over to Coffey. Coffey to Messier. Back to Hagman. The Oilers throw that puck around very well. Kevin Lowe in across the line, working to the corner. Had it knocked away by Morrow. Kept in at the line by Hagman. Hagman rink wide to Paul Coffey. Having a little difficulty controlling it. Trying to move into the high slot area. Now over to Lowe. Lowe in the corner to Hagman. Hagman having some difficulty along the boards. Over to Coffey. A backhand shot that is knocked down in front by Potvin, and the Islanders break out. A lead pass to Carroll. Carroll moving in. He took a shot off the leg. The puck at the side of the net was cleared to the corner by Moe. Now Coffey brings it out with Messier. Messier trying to catch up with it, working to the corner. Having difficulty as he's pinned against the boards by Langevin. And starting out is Bob Bourne. Bourne, one of the fastest skaters in the league, trying to catch up with that loose puck as it's brought back now by Hagman. Gretzky going for the goal. Hagman is spun around. The puck goes loose. Tonelli plays it off the boards and down the ice. 44 seconds left in the penalty to Goring.
You know, Hagman, he had Gretzky all alone. I don't think he saw him on that play.
Long pass into the center ice area, intercepted by Trottier. He's done quite a job for the Islanders in killing off penalties. He was most effective last night. Now it's Hicks working in across the line. Fakes the ankle, going for the goal, the save, the rebound. And at the side of the net, Melanson cleared it to the corner. Now along the board, Tonelli moves to the center ice as we move into the final minute of this opening period. Siltanen with a good move, lugging it for the Oilers. Long shot saved by Melanson. Siltanen can really let it go, and he ripped one there. Now it's Kurri inside the line, over to Hicks. Hicks shot, and it's knocked down by Melanson. And Trottier clears it down the ice as Goring comes out of the penalty box. Back for it is Hicks. Hicks up along the boards into the center ice area. Semenko gets it over to Gretzky. Gretzky moving into the spot, takes the shot wide. Kurri picks it up in the corner and played it to the line, but Siltanen was not in position. 21 seconds left in the period as it's fired in by Kevin Lowe. The puck loose in the New York zone. Gretzky is bodied by Merrick. Merrick trying to move it out of there. Gretzky gets it again. Gretzky out front. Back to the line. Struggling with a shot. A weak drive. He broke a stick on it. 2 seconds left, and that will be the end of the first period. An entertaining first period of hockey with first the Oilers applying the pressure, but then the Islanders fighting back.
Well, Roland Melanson, he had to face 13 shots by the Oilers. some on the difficult variety. An excellent save on Wayne Gretzky on one occasion, but a good effort again by the Oilers. They dominated most of that period, but Bob Nystrom, who will pick up a loose puck, watch it deflect off a skate of Paul Coffey, and he just goes around and one-on-one, and Nystrom, which he does so well in the playoffs, seems to come alive. It's a tie game after one.
And so the score at the end of the first period, the New York Islanders 2 and Edmonton 2.
Number 14, Bob Moore, has been quiet in the first two games here at the Coliseum. You just wonder when he's going to explode.
We had an opportunity to talk with his father today. His father and some friends from Kindersley, Saskatchewan, in to take in this game. As a matter of fact, I think about half a dozen of the players have relatives from close by or in. Here's Kurri with a shot, saved by Melanson. Now it's dumped back out to the center ice area. Gretzky knocked off the puck by Trottier, who plays it back to Langevin. Stephen Persson ahead to Trottier, back to Persson. Play just underway in the second period. Bourne breaking in from the wing in front of the goal, and it's picked off by Callighen. Callighen up along the boards, but unable to get it out as it was kept in by the Islanders.
We're getting penalties. Trottier and Callighen will go to the box. You know, interesting line matchup now. All of a sudden, the two offensive lines are going against each other. You see the hit there with Trottier and Callighen, the retaliation. So Trottier will get the elbowing penalty. Callighen, 2 minutes for roughing, and that only took 31 seconds. This guy here has made such an impression playing with Paul Coffey. I mean, these two guys get together all the time, discuss strategy. What a combination.
Billy Harris was telling us last night in that 8-2 loss at the Nassau Coliseum in Game 1, the Riviere was a +1 in that game.
Oh, he really concentrates behind his blue line. Of course, Paul Coffey with that excellent speed and puck handling goes to the offense at every opportunity.
I tell them about that 11-1 game involving Philadelphia where a certain fellow was a -1.
Yeah, Flyers won and I was -1. We won 11-1. I never forget that.
Play in the center ice area. Here's the kick along the board as Messier jumps Potvin, and then the fans react as Potvin hung on to Messier. Now it's Goring in across the line. Goring to Gillies. He tried to feed Potvin. Goring gets it again. Here's a chance for Gillies. Goring, and Goring just shot it wide. Out front, Potvin couldn't get his stick on it. What a chance for Butch Goring.
I don't know if Andy Moe got a piece of that and just deflected in the corner, but good passing by the Islanders, a 2-on-1 break near the net area.
Gretzky in the center ice area, loses it to Gillies. The big fella slaps one, and it's caught by Moe. Back of the goal, Kevin Lowe for Edmonton. A minute remaining in the penalties to Callighen and Trottier. Anderson flips it into the corner. Going back after it is Lorimer. Lorimer has been used rather sparingly so far in tonight's hockey game. Lane moving out. Lane with a long drive, and it's wide. Ricochets off the glass. Merrick all along the boards. Lorimer, another shot off the glass. Back to Lane. He winds up. Right on the puck loose in front. Moe didn't see it after making the save, and it was cleared by Edmonton. It goes down the ice, and as it's touched by Lorimer, icing is called against the Oilers.
Some close calls by the Oilers in their own zone. Now let's look at this youngster, Andy Moe, 20 years old. Here's the way he sees it. Just gets his toe on it. Where's the puck? By golly, after the goaltender makes that initial save, that's when you need the help from your defense. Oilers were able to clear it very effectively.
This is the 13th NHL encounter for young Andy Moe. He has played more of them in the playoffs than in regular season. As Glenn Sather said last night when he first came up, he would have had trouble stopping the Goodyear blimp. But what a star he has been in the playoffs. Coffey up on the right side to Kurri. Kurri getting away from Tonelli. In across the line. Over on the wing to LaRiviere. He shoots it back of the goal to Gretzky out front to Kurri. Kurri directs it to Coffey. Coffey tried to feed Gretzky at the side of the net, and it was broken up by Morrow. The penalized players back in the ice. Here's a chance. Kurri in across the line to Gretzky. Gretzky tried to poke it by the defenseman Potvin, and it was picked off by Tonelli as Potvin tied up Gretzky. Now it's Merrick across the line. Slapper saved by Moe. In the corner, Coffey clearing it to center ice to Gretzky. On the wing for Callighen. Back to Gretzky. Gretzky rinked wide. There's nobody there. Now it's Howitt coming back for the Islanders. As it poked away by Siltanen, it goes loose in the corner. Siltanen is bodied. The puck picked up again by Howitt. Back at the net out front. Here's a chance for Langevin. A shot right on. Persson picks it up at the other point. He centers it. It's broken up by Siltanen. Howitt, or I should say Nystrom has it, feeding it to the corner to Howitt. Now Howitt and Hicks body back of the net. The puck goes loose. The Islanders trying to get it out front. Carroll back to the line now. Langevin with a shot right on. The save by Moe. Tremendous pressure being applied here by the Islanders. Howitt has it. Beating it out front. There's nobody there, and it's dumped down the ice by Edmonton.
Well, there was a good example of that strong forechecking and having that strength to hold on to the puck and make the plays.
From the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton, this is Stanley Cup 81.
Glenn Anderson will take his second penalty in that center ice area. And I know Anderson trying to make contact, but you just have to stay away for penalties in that area, especially against this Islander power play.
The Islanders scored once tonight with a two-man advantage. The Oilers shoot it down. The Oilers very ineffective when they have the man advantage. Let's see what the Islanders can do. Trottier shooting it in. It ricochets off the boards. Bossy gains control of it. Moving back to the line. Over on the wing to Persson, working to the corner. Bossy breaking for the goal, but Persson couldn't get it to him. Finally, his pass out is intercepted by Messier. And Messier, he lost it. Here's a chance for Trottier. Trottier moving in, he scores! Messier had control in his own zone. He did not fire it out. And the result is a goal by Brian Trottier.
Well, he did have control, and you know, anytime you have an opportunity to ice it, you do so, especially when you're in your own zone. Now, if he's around the center ice area, I can see him trying to rag the puck. But you notice everybody else was going out of the zone. Nobody back covering up. And then Trottier, left by himself, lets that good shot go. And it's another power play goal, but a little help there. Defensive let down by the Oilers. Should never leave the zone. Two of the Oilers were leaving the zone, starting to leave the zone when Messier still had it. They have to stay behind the blue line to protect him in a case just like that.
Well, the power play was the Oilers' undoing in Game 2. It may prove to be their undoing in Game 4 as well. A drive by Hunter, and it went up on the stick of the New York defenseman, and I think it hit him in the face.
That's Stefan Persson. Now he's just going to stick his stick out there and try to deflect it. That's always a good play for a defenseman. When that slap shot, you can Hunter telegraphed the shot, and you put the stick down and just deflect it in the crowd. But oh, that really caught Persson, and that had a lot of velocity on it.
Stefan Persson still being treated. He has been cut, and hopefully it is nothing more serious than a cut.
Well, Hunter, you know, when he wound up to take that slap shot, you know that there was a lot of velocity on that. And by putting the stick down, it hit Persson directly, and thank goodness that he's all right.
With the score, the New York Islanders 3, Edmonton 2. This is Stanley Cup 81.
Well, this is the time when the Oiler fans can certainly help out. getting that enthusiasm and that hollering and screaming back again. This second period has been all Islander. They've only had 2 shots against their net. Al Arbor talked about we have to shut down the Oilers, do a better job of checking. They certainly have in this period.
Yes, the 17,000 plus in the Northlands Coliseum have been somewhat subdued since early in the first period. From the face-off, Semenko flips it to the corner to Gretzky. Gretzky fighting with it. With Lorimer. Now Semenko steps into Merrick as it's cleared to center ice. Hughes behind his back to Gretzky. Gretzky couldn't control it as it was knocked away by Merrick. Now it's Lorimer ahead to Merrick. For the Islanders, in across the line, a shot just wide, and he had Moog going the wrong way, but he missed the net. Now it's Gretzky on the wing to Hughes, cutting for the goal. He's tied up by Tonelli. Couldn't get a shot away. Picked up along the boards by Semenko. He bodies with Nystrom. Gretzky gets it in the corner. Gretzky dodging a check, but he has it taken away from him, and it's dumped out to center ice. Here's Nystrom racing after the loose puck, but Fogelin gets back first with 9:48 left in the second period. 3-2 is the score in favor of the Islanders. Potvin at his own line to Lorimer. Lorimer clearing it down the ice. Lowe gets it back ahead to Anderson, but Anderson was across the line offside.
Another out-of-town score, an update. The Sabres, on a goal by Van Boxmeer, have taken the lead, and there's just under 8 minutes left to go in that game. The Sabres have not won a game in that series, and they have their backs against the wall. I guess that's as good an explanation as we can give. Sometimes, though, that fourth game is the hardest one to win.
9:34 is the time left in this second period as Silden encircles in his own zone. Hagman, back pass for Anderson. Anderson having difficulty up the line, and it's poked away by Gillies. Hicks breaks up his pass. He brings it in to Messier. Messier, a shot! From an almost impossible angle.
Now, Messier got good wood on that, but you don't score from against the boards. Look at the play that Hicks makes here. Now watch where Messier shoots this one from. Let's look at Melanson. Now he's almost inside his crease area. I would think that he'd have to come out and challenge a little bit, cut down that angle, and that beat him to the far corner, and a good lucky break for the Oilers. Some chance that they never figured on scoring on.
Well, let's see if that gives Edmonton some life now. The fans have certainly come alive. Anderson is dumped by Potvin. The puck goes loose. Goring gets it around to the other side to Morrow. Ahead to Gillies. Gillies in across the line. He's content to shoot it into the corner. Messier is bodied. It goes loose, however, to Hagman. Hagman, his pass intercepted in the center ice area by Potvin, but it's picked up by Siltanen. Siltanen takes the shot, saved, Melanson loose in front, and it's cleared down the ice. Icing will be called against New York as Hicks touches it. With 8:30 left in the period. Hockey Night in Canada will continue in just a moment. Well, there was no penalty call, but Andy Moog was leaving the goal crease and heading for the bench.
Very fortunate. He was out of there about 20 feet heading for the bench. He thought that Dave Newell was signaling a penalty against the Islanders. That was not the case.
That was a delayed offside call, and Moog had left the goal heading for the bench. Here's Lane with a drive. It hit a leg in front of the net, picked up in the corner by Callighen. To Lowe, and Lowe dumps it down the ice. Morrow is back for New York to Merrick. Merrick shoots it in. It's knocked down by Lowe. Cleared out to center ice again. Merrick has to wait for Nystrom to get back onside before firing it in. Now it's Lowe up along the boards to Kurri. Rink-wide pass intended for Callighen, broken up by Morrow. An alert play by the New York defenseman. Good forechecking here by New York as Edmonton is having trouble getting organized. Now here's a chance, the 2-on-1 break, slap shot, score! What a drive by Tonelli.
Well, this This line here of Tonelli, Nystrom, and Merrick were all over Gretzky's line. Again, the Oilers leaving the zone. Potvin was trying to go offensively. Somebody has to cover up for him. And then Tonelli lets that shot go. Possibly Kevin Lowe was screening on the play, but when you rattle it off the goalpost and it goes in, you deserve it. He really picked that corner. So John Tonelli has given the lead, and that's his first goal of the playoffs. 3-2 or 4-3 now for the Islanders.
6 minutes left in the second period. Long lead pass intended for Howard, too far. He races in back of the goal. He's bodied. It goes loose, kept in at the line by Langevin. Now it's picked off by Anderson to Messier. Messier going to the left side. Same spot he scored from earlier. Unable to get a shot away this time. He's bodied by Lorimer. I think Lorimer fell on top of the puck. We'll have a face-off in the New York zone.
Well, a good move by Coach Al Arbour getting Lane into the lineup. He assisted on the play to Tonelli. So there isn't anything wrong with getting a shot on net because you never know what'll happen. But Tonelli really wound up and took that slap shot. But let's remember, again, another defensive lapse there by the Oilers. When Vogelin took the puck out of the zone, somebody had to be back there to cover up. Tonelli actually had a man with him going down that right side. It was a 2-on-1 break against Kevin Lowe. Elected to shoot and got his first goal of the playoffs.
Well, when Clark Gillies told us last night that this team was going to be more aggressive, more physical, and skate harder tonight, he certainly knew what he was talking about, because they have been much more aggressive than they were last evening.
Well, they arise to the occasion. Remember, they're the defending Cup champions. They know what it takes to win. They've been there before. Something that the Oilers haven't been able to do, or they've never accomplished yet, a Stanley Cup winner.
Trottier shoots it in for the Islanders, then goes to the bench for a change. Up along the boards, Gary Unger lost control of it. It's loose. Here's a chance for Howard. Quick shot, and the save is made by Moe. Silverman goes back of his own goal. Rink-wide pass for Hughes. Hughes couldn't get a stick on it. In the center ice area, Unger is spun around, and Carroll bangs it down the ice. 5 minutes now remaining in this second period. 4-3 is the score in favor of the Islanders. Sutter just got a piece of Hunter as he attempted the body check. Hunter got a shot away, stopped by Melanson, and it's cleared down the ice.
You know, Melanson has left some good rebounds there, but the Islanders have done a good job of picking up that trailer coming in.
In across the line, Coffey playing it to the corner for Gretzky. Gretzky in back of the net. Callighen controlling it for Edmonton. Giving it back to the goal again to Gretzky. Gretzky out front. A shot by Kurri. He didn't get good wood on it, and it just trickled to the goal mouth. Now it's Sutter along the boards, upended by Callighen. Kurri falls. And I think we've got a penalty coming up as Sutter and Kurri do some shoving. I believe Sutter will be going off.
Well, he applied the hook to Kurri. Kurri actually had an excellent chance of coming right out in front of the net. Sutter certainly prevented that, and then everybody getting their 2 cents worth in there.
Well, they still haven't settled the issue, as Gary Howard now has a few words. One occasion in last night's game where he was hit twice. One occasion in last night's game where he was hit twice in the corner. 2 solid body checks. He stood on his feet and was able to control the puck.
Great balance.
Good move by Potvin at his own line. He shoots it in. They fight for it in the corner and finally force a face-off. Some shoving going on there involving Hunter and Bossy.
I'm sure that Mike Bossy will be glad when this series is over. He's seen enough of Dave Hunter. Potvin got a little fancy. It does a little zippity-doo between his legs, but I guess if there's a weakness in Wayne Gretzky's game, it's not being able to check that well. You notice how he skated away from Potvin instead of really going right at him. But I talked to Glenn Sather about that. He said, we really don't care what Gretzky does defensively. I don't even care if he comes in his own zone. We want him to score goals. That's what he's paid for, and he does that better than anybody else. Case is closed.
No further discussion on that one. 32 seconds left in this second period. 4-3, the Islanders leading. It was 2-2 after the first period. In the corner, Kevin Lowe up along the boards to Hunter. Hunter gets it out to center ice. Here's a break for Hughes. He was unable to control it as he came in on the left side. Potvin gets back. He's bodied by Hughes. It goes loose. Hunter trying to feed it out front. Potvin falls on top of it and holds it for a face-off.
You know, you got to give Hughes a lot of credit. He sat most of that first period on the bench. That's the hardest thing to do for a player, sit, and then the coach will say, all right, go out there and show us something. You know, the legs, they don't feel the same. They feel tight. You can't get them moving, but Hughes has responded in this period, and it has been exciting to watch, and he's made things happen out there. A good check against Potvin.
17 seconds remaining in the period. They'll perform that face-off again in the Islanders' zone.
Again, Trottier, he has his men lined up the way he wants them. And he doesn't go in that face-off till everybody's ready in their position.
It's brought out by Nystrom. Bourne trying to catch up with the play. Nystrom dumps it into the corner. He's bodied by Fogelin. Lowe goes back at the goal, up along the boards to Hunter. 4 seconds left in the period. To Unger, a long shot. It's caught by Melanson as the siren sounds to end period 2.
Andy Moog was busy. He gave up a couple of goals in that period. Melanson didn't have many shots against him. In fact, only 6. But the Oilers are in it. They kept their poise, even though they fell behind a couple of times. Should be a good third period.
And so the score at the end of the second period, the New York Islanders 4, Edmonton 3. Here at the Northlands Coliseum, the score was tied at 2 after 1. Then Trottier stealing the puck inside the Edmonton line, a power play goal. Messier, who gave it up, got it back for Edmonton. And then John Tonelli, after stealing it in the center ice area from Wayne Gretzky, has moved the Islanders into a 4-3 lead. And the Islanders had a big edge in play in that second period.
Yes, they did. And always the sign of a good hockey club that are able to capitalize on mistakes. The Oilers made a couple of dandies there, and the Islanders put them home. So we look for a strong period by the Oilers to pick it up and do some forechecking and get those shots on net.
I think it's safe to assume that the Islanders will play it rather cautious and be quite patient in this final period as well, nursing that 1-goal lead. The Oilers are forced to take the chances. Fogelin in across the line. A shot is caught by Melanson. He drops it back of the goal. Langevin up along the boards. The Islanders dump it to center ice. Fogelin plays it back in. It's brought out by Langevin. Over to Bossy. Bossy breaking for the goal. He's tied up. The two players, Lowe and Bossy, go down as Unger goes back of his own net. Up on the wing for Lumley. Ahead to Hunter. Hunter dodging a check from Merrick, shooting it into the New York zone. 4-3 the score. The Islanders leading Edmonton. Game 4 of the quarterfinal. The Islanders leading the series 2-1. Potvin, long shot. Moog steers that to the corner. Nystrom was taken into the goalpost by Messier. Nystrom appears to be all right. He got up a little slowly. He's going to go to the bench. I think he's hurt. Now it's Merrick taking a pass across 2 lines, and the Islanders are called in the offside.
Well, the way Nystrom plays, it's a wonder that they didn't do damage on the goalpost.
Well, you see Bob Nystrom being treated at the New York bench. He was really rammed into that goalpost as he lost his balance and breaking for the Edmonton net when checked by Messier. Lead pass intended for Messier in the center ice area. Too far for him. Lorimer back of his own net. Icing is called against Edmonton.
The chant is, go Oilers, go! Go Oilers, go! As Gord Lane sits in the penalty box on the tripping call. I think the Oilers have to make an adjustment on this power play. They're moving the puck, but they're outside the box. that the Islanders have had, and it would be a good idea to move somebody in that slot area. That'll close up the box so that the Oilers can get that shot from the point. They have to start taking some shots.
Well, they've made an adjustment. They have Kurri back on the point along with Coffey. Anderson is up front with Callighen and Gretzky. Potvin gets control and plays it off the boards and down the ice. 13:36, the time left in the hockey game. New York in front. The defending Stanley Cup champions leading 4-3. Lead pass too far for Gretzky, and it's fired back into the Edmonton zone by New York. The Islanders have done quite a job in tonight's hockey game in killing off those Edmonton power play chances. Here's Coffey bringing it in, working to the corner, playing it back to the line now to Gretzky. Gretzky drops it over to Anderson. It's deflected, and they score! Callighen in front of the net.
The power play has proved to be a weapon used by both teams. Paul Coffey just out-muscles Potvin for the puck. Now Gretzky goes to work, setting up Anderson. Now what Anderson's doing is directing it at the net. Callighen has perfect position. Nobody in there to take him out of the play. And he just deflects the puck past Melanson. The movement and the deflection. Now that's something that the Oilers wanted to do all night, get a man in that area. They haven't been able to do it. So a little adjustment, they tie this game on the power play. That's 2 for each side.
Wayne Gretzky draws an assist. He now has 18 playoff points. Well, we're in for quite a finish to this hockey game. The Oilers coming back to tie it here in the third on the power play. Trottier with the long shot. Back of the goal goes Kevin Lowe. We've got a penalty coming up here to the Edmonton Oilers. Dave Hunt.
Randy Holt.
They're in overtime in the game between Buffalo and Minnesota, with the score tied at 4 there. It's tied at 4 here at the Northlands Coliseum. Messier unable to get it out. They bang away at it. At the line, Messier finally gets it down the ice. 57 seconds left in the penalty to Hunter. Potvin, a shot. What a wicked drive as it ricocheted off the glass. Scoring at the line. Gretzky is out there killing off this penalty. Picked up by Coffey. Here's a chance for Gretzky with just roaring back. Gretzky gets around in, going in, and he shot it wide. The puck came off the backboards, and Anderson almost raced in and got it. Melanson is hurt. The puck loose. Coffey now losing it at his own line to Bossy. Bossy has it poked away by Anderson. Anderson unable to clear it. Bossy keeps it in to Trottier. A shot and a save by Mold. What action on this power play. 14 seconds left in the penalty. It appeared as though Roland Melanson was hurt when Anderson collided with him, but apparently he's going to be able to continue. He was just shaken up.
Couple of great individual efforts. Butch Goring was back all alone, and that is a terrible position to be in, especially with Gretzky carrying the puck. He did a good job of stopping him. Look at Anderson, that effort, trying to pick up that loose puck, went right over Melanson. And then at the other end, Andy Mold just stoned Trottier from point-blank range. This has all the earmarks of another tremendous game. From start to finish, skating, hitting, everything that you would want in a playoff competition.
2 young goaltenders performing well tonight. One of them having just reached his 21st birthday, the other a couple of months away. The Riviere tried to play it off the boards, and it went up into the crowd.
You know, Don, even though both goaltenders have given up 4 goals, they have been spectacular because the chances that the teams have been good scoring chances. But those 2 mistakes in the second period kind of deflated the Oilers, but they have come out in this third period with reckless abandon. And in fact, They lead the shot total now by 1, 27-26.
3 seconds left in the penalty to Hunter. As we approach the midway point of the third period, the score is tied at 4. Game 4 of the quarterfinal round. New York leading 2 games to 1. Game 5 back in New York on Wednesday night, and you'll see it on the CBC television network. Wherever you're looking in this evening across the country, hope you're enjoying this one. Now it's Unger dumping it down the ice as Hunter steps out of the penalty box. Lane has to go back into his own zone. Lane with a shot that hits the stick, goes wide of the goal. Picked up in the corner by LaRiviere. He's bodied by Nystrom. LaRiviere kicks it back to Coffey. Coffey comes right up in front of his own goal. He gives the Canaric a shot, and LaRiviere came sliding out to block it. Well, that's a move that Coffey has employed a couple of times. It's worked effectively. But on that occasion, it almost backfired, Gary.
A good second effort there by LaRiviere to block that shot. That's teamwork again. One guy makes a mistake, the other guy covers up.
Nystrom back to the net, trying to center it. Tonelli was being tied up in front of the goal by Hicks. Now it's Callighen, rink wide to Kurri. He has Gretzky with him. However, a good defensive play by Dennis Potvin stopped Kurri. And it's cleared down the ice by Lorimer. No icing on the play. Risto Siltanen trying to get away from Carroll. Siltanen flipping it in. It's knocked down at the line by Potvin. Racing after it is Howlett. However, the Edmonton player got to it first. Now, in the center ice area, the puck goes loose. It's finally knocked into the New York zone, and Lorimer is back with 9 minutes remaining in the third period. The score tied at 4. Sutter plays it to an open left wing. Carroll catches up with it, then runs into Anderson as it's played into the Edmonton zone. Both back of his net. He is fighting for it with Sutter, and they hold it against the boards for a face-off. This is Hockey Night in Canada from the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton.
Lee Fogelin in the penalty box. A tough time to take a penalty, but he really took out Trottier, who was coming down the wing, grabbed a hold. I don't think he could really complain about that. The fans objected, but it was a good call by Dave Newell.
Back to the line. Bourne with a shot. Block save by Mold. Meanwhile, back at the Northlands Coliseum, the score tied at 4. 1:45 left in the penalty to Lee Fogelin.
Are we looking at overtime? You have a habit of every telecast you're involved in, we go into overtime.
Well, we had double overtime in Chicago the other night. Last year, we had that double overtime here at the Coliseum involving Philadelphia.
Well, if the Oilers can kill off this penalty.
Here's Messier with a chance, and it was blocked in front by Dennis Potvin. Now Brian Trottier gets it ahead to Gillies, the big fella. Dodging a couple of checks. He launches, here's a breakaway. Messier going in alone. He shoots, saved by Melanson. What a chance Mark Messier had. 1:20 left in the penalty to Fogelin. Now Potvin shoots it in. This crowd still buzzing with Messier going in all alone. It's dumped down the ice by the Oilers. And Bob Bourne is back. 7:27 left in the game. 1 minute in the penalty. Gretzky steals it inside the line. Gretzky spun around by Bourne. He still has it. Going in. He's upset by Trottier, and there's a penalty coming up to New York.
Interesting strategy here by Sather. Trottier's line came out. Normally it's Young or Hunter and Unger out there. Only Hunter comes out. Gretzky and Kurri remain on the ice.
Here's a chance for Gretzky in across the line. He tried to set up Hunter, and it was broken up by Trottier, who did a good job of covering up. It's cleared down the ice by New York, and the icing charge against the Islanders will produce a face-off back in their zone with 3:08 left in regulation play.
See Coach Glenn Sather along with assistant Billy Harris with the headset on. Time running out. We may be headed for another overtime game. But aren't you amazed the amount of ice time that Wayne Gretzky has? I mean, he's been double shifted the whole night. Power play, penalty killing. Keep that kid out there. Good to be young, isn't it?
Yes, with 164 regular season points and 18 in the playoffs, they need him out there. A shot by Hicks was broken up by Trottier, and he's seen a lot of ice time as well. And, of course, he's the leader of this Islander team. Now it's Hunter across the line. Shot. Melanson makes the save. Morrow back of the goal. Tied up there by Kurri. Gretzky gets it, and he flipped it off the glove of Melanson. He was at the side of the net, an almost impossible angle, but he took the shot, and Melanson had to flip it off the far post. Now it's Hunter. Back of the goal to Siltanen. Siltanen is upset by Howard. Bossy keeps it in. Bossy feeding it across the goal mouth. There's nobody there. Hunter goes back to the goal now. Starting out on the right side. Playing it in, back of the goal. Gretzky racing after it. Melanson playing it up along the boards. The Oilers were caught making a change with 2:13 left in the game. Lumley shoots it in. Along the boards, Lumley trying to keep it in, forcing a face-off in the New York zone, and he succeeds in doing just that. 2:01, the time left in the game. Well, it's getting late for some of our viewers on the national network. It's already tomorrow in some parts of the country. Here's Callighen, a shot to save by Melanson. Back of the goal, played up along the boards, kept in by Fogle and center, and Unger just failed to deflect it. Now the Islanders bring it out. Trottier in across the line, and offside with Butch going with 1:44 left in regulation play.
What a great job by Lee Fogelin to get back and break up that play at the blue line. He was caught down ice, put his head down, and just came back, and he was able to deflect that puck into the corner, cause the offside. Look at Lee coming across there. You can't beat effort. Talent isn't the only thing that you have to have. You have to have that heart. You have to have that desire to win and achieve.
Since they adorned his jersey with that big C, he has certainly played well in taking over the captaincy of the Oilers. He's one of the veterans, and he's been a leader out there for this team. He brings it in, going back at the net. He's bodied heavily, falls to the ice with Langevin. The puck is loose in the New York zone. Unger gets it in front of the net. Fogelin just failed to deflect it as he was being tied up by Langevin. Here's a chance for Lumley. A shot, it's knocked down and brought out by Tonelli. A 3-on-2 break. Tonelli centering it, and Sutter goes right to the goal mouth. He collides with Moog. No red light.
I mean, both of these teams have absolutely no fear whatsoever. So many times we've seen the puck carrier shoot the puck in the corner, go in there knowing he's going to get knocked off the puck. Watch Sutter. First game back. He's just coming off a serious shoulder injury. Collides with Moog, the goal post. That doesn't bother him a bit.
Well, Gretzky is coming back on the ice. Trottier is out there as well with 1:10 remaining in regulation time. The big gunners for both sides are going to be out there for the final minute and 10 seconds of regulation play.
I don't know. I think in a case like this, I might try Mark Messier on the faceoff rather than a Wayne Gretzky. Mark is certainly the better faceoff man. As he's going against Trottier, one of the best.
Hunter had gone to the bench. Now he comes back out. Trottier with Gillies and Bossy. Back in the line, it's Potvin and Morrow. From the face-off, Gillies drops it back. Potvin shot. Went off the stick of Gretzky. In the corner, it's Bossy looking for Gillies out front. Bossy going back of the goal. Moving in front, a shot and a save by young Andy Moog. Here come the Oilers with 55 seconds remaining. Gretzky in across the line, over on the wing for Messier. Messier tried to feed it in front, and it hit the side of the net. Now it's Trottier, goalie moving out on the right side to Potvin. Potvin shoots it in. 40 seconds remaining in regulation time. Back at the goal goes Coffey. 19-year-old defenseman comes out for Edmonton. Over to Hunter. Hunter looking for a pass. Kurri got it there. And Kurri took a backhand that went wide. Now it's Gillies for New York. To Merrick. Merrick shoots it in. Nystrom is racing in after it. Moog comes out of his net to play it. Merrick tried to center it. It's knocked down and kept in by Tonelli as Kurri tried to dump it out. Finally, it's played off the boards to center ice. A long shot by Langevin, and we're going to be going into overtime. Coffey in the corner. The puck goes loose. There's the final buzzer. And we have overtime coming up at the Northland Coliseum.
Well, I knew it that sooner or later, being with you, Don Whitman, that we'd end up with overtime. But by golly, folks, you have seen two teams demonstrate the ability to go out there and play 100% effort. I mean, we have seen it last night. We've seen it again tonight. The intensity that they played with, a credit to the Oilers, also the Islanders, the fans, the people, everybody. They're certainly getting their money's worth.
It has been a great series between these two. I'm sure many thought that when New York won 8-2 and 6-3 at the Nassau Coliseum on Thursday and Friday of last week, this Edmonton crowd on its feet, attempting to encourage these young Oilers who fought from behind in the third period to tie it at 4. And, of course, they would like to even the series at 2 games apiece. They do not want to go back to New York trailing 3-1 Wednesday night.
The Oilers have been aggressive all night. They have thrown some good checks, some good hits, but the Islanders, on a couple of defensive lapses by the Oilers, capitalized 2 goals in that second period to grab the lead. But then Brett Callighen on the power play tied it. And how often have we seen an overtime sudden death goal end up in the first couple of minutes of the overtime period?
Lorimer lead pass to Trottier. He deflects it down into the Edmonton zone. Bowles leaves it there for Potvin back of his own goal. Up on the boards now. Hunter having difficulty trying to get out. Hunter got it back to Lowe. It was brought back in by Lorimer offside.
As you look at both of these lineups, there are so many guys that could be the hero. I guess if you're going to point to somebody, it would have to be Brian Trottier, last year's MVP in the playoffs. But the Oilers have done a good job. Number 77, Gary Younger, playing some of his best hockey the last couple of games, has done a pretty good job against Trottier tonight.
Center ice pass intercepted by Gillies and dumped back into the Edmonton zone. Lowe back into his own zone, up along the boards. Lumley trying to get out of there. He does. Left wing pass to Hunter, a long shot. Melanson steers that to the corner. Now at the line, it's kept in by Fogelin. No, he doesn't keep it in. It slid out apparently, and he brought it back in offside. We should point out that Stefan Persson, who was hit with a deflected puck off the stick of Dave Hunter in the second period, has been taken to hospital for further examination. It's feared that he may have suffered a broken jaw.
Mike Bossy, the prolific goal scorer that he is, Game 3 and also in this game here, Dave Hunter of the Oilers has been all over him. That familiar song, Me and My Shadow, has been very prominent.
From the face-off, Anderson flips it in. Melanson stops it back of the goal for Potvin. He must be getting a little weary by now because he has been out there a lot tonight for New York. Now it's Hagman shooting it in. Morrow back of his own goal. Ahead to Merrick to Nystrom. His pass in the center ice area broken up by Edmonton. Puck loose. Nystrom gets it again. Almost lost it there to Hagman. Hicks and Nystrom bump each other. The puck goes loose, and starting out is Anderson. Anderson in across the line. Good move. He falls, and it's dumped back to center ice by Merrick. Risto Siltanen moving back into his own zone. Pass over on the right side for Hagman. Hagman shoots it in and then goes to the bench as the Oilers make a change. Potvin almost lost it at the side of the net. Flips it high to Howitt, to Nystrom. In across the line, the Islanders making a change as Coffey goes back of his own goal. Coffey, a lead pass for Callighen. He was looking for Gretzky, too far for him. It slides down into the Islander zone. Langevin back of the goal. Langevin up along the boards to Goring. Goring rink wide, but Lorimer was unable to control it. The Islanders have to regroup. Langevin now to Goring. Goring, a rink wide pass for Sutter, and he almost got away, but was spun around by Coffey. Now it's Lorimer shooting it back in. Andy Moog stopping it behind his own net. We have played 2.5 minutes in this overtime session. Here's a pass. Across the line offside with Brett Callighen.
Both teams seem a little tight in this overtime, not really making the good plays that they did earlier in the game. Wayne Gretzky right now is the leading point getter in this series. Just kept right on going after the fantastic season he had. Number 99. He's made several outstanding plays tonight. Melanson had to be particularly sharp. That one move he made in and out of two different guys as he was falling. Had the puck labeled for the corner. Melanson, a good save.
Well, the Trottier line is out there again. Bossy and Gillies, his partners. And that forces Glenn Sather to send out the Gary Unger unit. Unger, Lumley, and Hunter. The checking line for Edmonton, doing quite an effective job against the big line for New York. It's fired in. Icing will be called as it's touched by Lowe.
I guess that would be a good way of keeping Gretzky and company off the ice. Keep playing Trottier's line. But stamina becomes such an important factor right now. I'm sure both coaches, before the start of this overtime, had said, now look at guys, you got to make those shifts very short.
Peter Pocklington, the owner of the Oilers and the premier of the province of Alberta, Peter Lougheed, watching the activity.
And another thing, Don, also is make those line changes properly. The best time is shoot it in the zone and then make your line change.
Potvin back of his own net. Up along the boards for Bob Bourne, who has replaced Clark Gillies. Bourne in across the line. Trottier going for the net. Bourne tried to center it. It bounced high and was taken in against the boards by Lumley. He's bodied. Bourne gets it again at the side of the net. Bossy with a spin-around shot, and Moog stood his ground. Bossy hasn't had many scoring opportunities, but all of his shots have been on the net. Now it's Lowe playing it off the glass and down the ice, and this will produce an icing call against Edmonton.
Now that was the first good scoring chance of this sudden death overtime, and Andy Moog kept his ground there, stood firm and tall, was able to keep that from going in the net. Bossy just spins around and shoots it. Moog had that short side covered beautifully. Can't say enough about this youngster. Sensational last night, the same tonight.
Face off to the left of Andy Moog with 16:36 remaining in this overtime period.
You know, both teams, they don't want to sit back and just wait for something to happen. You want to force the action as long as you have that safety valve to help you out.
Here's Lorimer with the drive, and Moog makes the catch down in his knees.
Face-offs, really bear down on those. Lorimer. Actually, Moog had an easy time of it. Oilers did a good job of clearing the front of the net so that he can have a look at it. Nystrom, you're always fearful of him. He has a tendency of scoring overtime goals.
Well, of course, he was the overtime hero in the deciding game against Philadelphia in the Stanley Cup final last year. Back to the line, Lorimer again, a shot that is deflected wide. Now along the board, Howitt fighting there with the Riviere, and finally it's cleared to center ice. Lorimer shoots it back in, but New York Islanders were caught offside.
Wayne Merrick played his best hockey in that Toronto series, shutting down Sittler's line with him on Martin. Used penalty killing and as a defensive unit out there. This line here of Nystrom, Howitt, and Merrick, they did some kind of job. forechecking job, and here they are against Gretzky's line.
You know, we talked, Gary, about the youth of the Edmonton Oilers. These New York Islanders aren't exactly relics. Merrick is one of the oldest players on the team at 29.
Where have all the seasoned veterans gone?
To the broadcast booth, my friend. Now it's brought in by Merrick. Howard has knocked off the puck. It goes loose in the corner. Howard gets back in there. He's a tenacious individual. He's trying to get it out front. However, it winds up in the pads of Gary LaRiviere. And we'll have a face-off in the Edmonton zone. Very tight checking in this overtime session.
Jari Kurri, his best season. What a year he had. But, you know, his statistics offensively are sometimes not the true story of Jari Kurri. Oftentimes you'll see the Oilers employing their defensemen to get involved offensively. Kurri, tremendous at staying back and covering up in that position. Billy Harris talked very highly about him as a defensive player. And you think, Kurri, defensive player?
Billy Harris was telling us an interesting story, too, about Jari Kurri having quite a sense of humor. Even though he does have some difficulty with the language, he's quite a needler on the club, and some of his best shots are directed at Wayne Gretzky. In back of the goal, Sutter is bodied, still manages to get the puck back to the other side to Langevin, up along the boards, kept in by Hicks. Hicks plays it back of the goal. Messier trying to center it with Melanson out of the goal. Now it's Anderson to Messier, and Messier centered it, but it was intercepted by Tonelli. Tonelli in across the line, feeding it in front, and Sutter was tied up neatly by Hicks. Up along the boards, Messier gets it out into the center ice area to Anderson. Anderson had it knocked away from him by Langevin. And it's Sutter with it for New York. In across the line, trying to feed it to Tonelli. Tonelli spins around and takes the shot that Sutter directed to the goal. Now Hagman brings it back for Edmonton at the line. Picked up by Anderson, but the whistle goes on the offside call, and the fans didn't like that one.
Yeah, Glenn Anderson was home free. He thought he had picked that puck up before it crossed the blue line. See if we can pick it up. Hagman, he'll cross the blue line. I don't know. The only explanation is perhaps Hagman had the puck stripped and he went across the line before the puck, and that took care of the offside, because the puck did not cross the line when Anderson picked it up.
Now it's Potvin shooting it in for New York. Moog missed it back of the goal. Gillies gets it. Trottier back to the line. Potvin shoots, save, rebound. Another save by Moog. It's loose. They bang away. And Trottier with Moog down just failed to jam it in. The best scoring chance of the game. Trottier back to the net. Still has it. Trottier trying to come out front. Now he's tied up by Lowe. Trying to center it. It goes loose. He bangs at it again. Gillies has it between his skates. They jam away at it. To the line, not out. Morrow shoots. He scores! Ken Morrow, the overtime hero for the New York Islanders, as they win at 5-4. That goal coming at 5:41 of overtime.
Well, a tough break for the Edmonton Oilers. They battled hard, but Morrow from the point, but the pressure that the Islanders put on was tremendous here. Trottier again doing awesome work. There's the original save. Trottier, Bossy, everybody in there. And finally, it looked like Andy Moog had a piece of it. They're trying to shovel it under his pad, but to no avail. Islanders just a great forechecking job. Bossy, look at him get away. He's hit, he's knocked down, he gets hit again, he gets up, doesn't give that puck away. Look at him get away from Kevin Lowe and deflect it in front. The big guy there, Clark Gillies, and here it comes through a maze of players and catches the corner. Tough break for young Andy Moog, who played brilliantly.
Well, the Oilers came so close to getting it out of their own zone. However, they did not succeed in doing that, and Morrow blasted it from the line for the winning goal at 5:41 of overtime. And so the final score, the New York Islanders 5, Edmonton 4.
Many wrote the Oilers off following this loss. However, they actually won Game 5 to force the series back to Edmonton. Unfortunately for the Oilers, the Islanders showed their experience closing out the Oilers 5-2 in Game 6 to win the series. Thanks for watching Vintage Games here on the NHL Network. We'll see you again next time.
Monday,